Welcome back to the Morning Blend. Dog parks are a great way for dogs to burn off energy and gain important social skills, but they are not for every dog.
Joining us now from the Wisconsin Humane Society with a few tips is Cherisse LeJeune, and of course she brought along a little puppy. Good to see you.
Thank you so much.
Who is this?
This is little Abby. She's a terrier mix and she's only 8 weeks old, but she is so tiny. She's such a little peanut.
Is a little peanut,
Yeah,
you're right.
She's so cute. And she has a brother and sister?
She does, yep. She's got a brother and sister in her same litter that are going to be available for adoption too today when we open at 2 at our Ozaki campus. So hopefully we'll find this little girl a good home. She's so quiet. It's the perfect time to bring her home. You know, the weather's getting warmer. It's so nice out. So she'll be ready to go when we open today at 2. And she's already been spayed, vaccinated, and microchipped. So she's really hoping that she's going to find a good home today.
How big do you think she'll get?
You know, I don't think she's going to be that big. She's pretty tiny. She's only a few pounds. So and her little paws are so little too. So I don't think she's going to get to be that big. She'll be a perfect size for traveling, but she'll stay small.
So cute.
She is adorable.
Let's talk about dog parks a little bit. They're not for every dog.
That's correct. Exactly. You know, I mean, some dogs really enjoy them. They enjoy the socialization, but other dogs can just be very fearful of them. And so it's really something where you really want to be mindful of how your dog is interacting at dog parks. On the flip side of it, some dogs can be bullies at dog parks, and so you really want to make sure that they're not overwhelming other dogs who are there too. So it's definitely not for every dog.
Why is it that some dogs love other dogs when they're little, when they're puppies, and then as they get older, they don't really get along so well with other animals?
You know, it's really something that just like people's social needs change as they get older, kind of the same thing happens with dogs. So, you know, maybe when they're younger, they loved every puppy, they loved meeting every puppy, they just had this need for a lot of social stimulation. And as they get older, especially when dogs mature around 2 to 3 years, they have the social maturity stage that they go through. And so not every dog, they just don't do well with every dog, and it's something that's just natural. And so it's really something you want to be mindful of, especially at dog parks, because they might have done just fine as puppies, and then as they get older, they prefer more familiar friends.
What behaviors should you kind of keep an eye on or watch out for as maybe a sign that things aren't copacetic for your dog?
Well, you know, the one thing that we always really encourage guardians to do is when they go to dog parks, first of all, see if their dog is overly stressed, because clearly then they're not enjoying it. So if they are really stressed, that might be signs of like running and hiding, trying to go the other way if another dog comes. Sometimes they do stress yawns that maybe you think, oh, they're just tired, but they do these little stress yawns that indicate, hey, I'm a little stressed. Again, just running and hiding behind you. Or they might just start panting. Sometimes dogs, when they get really stressed, start panting, and it's not because they're hot, it's because they're just in a stressful situation. The other thing you really want to be mindful too of, if they are bullying or kind of having a very rough play style, not all dogs enjoy that rough play style. So if it's something where you notice your dog being very rough with other dogs, and the other dogs aren't enjoying it, maybe they're running and hiding, or you do see some aggressive behaviors, it's time to reevaluate, hey, maybe we should go home and work on more socialization.
What kinds of things should you bring to a dog park? You know, the tennis ball, the frisbee, things like that. What kinds of things should you leave home?
Yeah, you know, we always, you know, especially as the weather gets warmer too, you really want to make sure that you're bringing water, dish, things like that to keep them hydrated. But you really, and it's fine to bring a tennis or a frisbee, but if the dog if that's their favorite toy, you might see some resource guarding at the dog park, and maybe you never experienced that at home, maybe they never guarded at home, and you say, oh, it's fine to bring, but if you think about putting them in a situation with 5, 10 other dogs, where they start to develop some resource guarding there with their favorite toy.
They don't want to share.
Exactly, they don't want to share.
The playground,
exactly. So you want to try and leave those things at home, just so that they wouldn't start to become possessive of their favorite toys at the dog park.
And if it's a first visit, you should probably limit it. Kind of see how your dog interacts with other dogs, kind of get some kind of gauge or measure of how comfortable they are.
Exactly. That's a really good point, Molly, because it's something where, and also too for adopting dogs, we really encourage you before you bring them to a dog park, for you to get to know them yourself first, to really bond with them first, because if you think about putting them in a setting where they don't know any other dogs, they don't know any other people, it's really important that you get to know their play style, their personality, and so bring them there for a short while, but really be mindful that you as a guardian should be responsible about removing them from that situation if they do get too stressed.
Great tips.
Gotta be smart.
Yeah, because it's fun to go to the dog park, but you gotta be smart about it.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Here's the information for the Wisconsin Humane Society in Stockville. You're right on Decorah Street. The phone number to call for this little peanut is 262-377-7580 or wihumane.org. And she'll be available when?
2 today at our Ozaki campus in Stockville.
Fantastic. Great to see you.
Thank you so much.
So cute.